Hey, buddy. So it's Ashwin Kumar versus Jimmy Wikman. It's the first game of the season. It's a long game, classical format. And this was a really, eh, it was an okay game. I mean, I think I played pretty solid, but apparently so did he. And I wasn't able to really get much of an advantage. So here was a critical moment after he played Queen B6. I was very tempted to play C5, but then I started to doubt myself because after queen c7, this pawn break comes pretty nicely, and then this piece is a bit loose as well because this queen is here. If the queen were here, then I could strengthen this pawn that way, but currently that wouldn't be the case. So normally I've been playing this in all my blitz games that I've been playing online, but here after having a think about it, I decided not to. Let's just see, for the sake of it, what the computer would even think of this move. Can we even gauge that somehow? Yeah, see, the computer would immediately get us, the black would immediately get a bit of an advantage after queen c7. Queen c7, queen c2, bishop g7, b4, castles, and then e5. The e5 pawn break comes, and I can't really stop it. That's the reason I didn't like it. So anyway, I'm proud of myself for not going through with that. Let's see what happened next. I played bishop d2, so I thought, let me build this up. And here he plays e6. Now I decide it's time to go back because this pawn is now very well fortified by these two, so there's no point putting extra pressure here with all these pieces. It's rock solid. So instead I should be gearing up for my own pawn break, which is potentially coming here. But he wants to stop that, although this was an inaccuracy. Bishop g7 would have been better. But how to punish bishop b4, I'm not sure. I played a3. I thought, let me ask him the question. And he captures, knight e4. And here I played bishop to b4. Admittedly, when I was first calculating these lines, I calculated that the bishop could get, my own bishop could get here and potentially prevent him from castling. And if he were to play a5, I would be able to get my bishop here and take this long diagonal eventually. That was my plan. But then I later realized that that doesn't actually quite work because this knight is guarding that square. So nonetheless, I transformed into this type of a setup with c5 here because I think this is more strong if he has already played this, I think. I'm not sure. This is a good thing about playing long games is you have to sort of question your fundamental understanding of chess. So now when he plays b5, that's a move where, you know, he's trying to sneak ahead of your advanced pawn. And here, well, I thought there's no way I'm letting this guy sneak up and start to do some shit here. So I took it, but it seems like that was not the ideal move. Instead of taking it, computer suggests bishop d3 followed by this kind of a sequence. Yeah, I think rook's ganging up here, queen ganging up here. This is pretty solid. Kind of makes sense. Anyway, that's not how the game went. Instead, it went something like this. And here he offered me a draw, and I thought about it a while, and I said, "Now let's just play. I just want to play and improve, you know." So, okay, capturing him might not have been ideal. Computer recommends that I just castle here, which I also thought of, and then he could play capture, and he cannot capture here because my rook would come in and the queen would be trapped. But I figured he probably saw that much. And the move I think I was kind of concerned about, I'm not sure. But yeah, in retrospect, castling might have been better. True. Instead, I just thought I could pressure this pawn a bit here and start to do something. So at this point, actually, right over here, black actually has a small edge. So my own evaluation was wrong. At this point, I was thinking white must have a small edge. And I even thought, should I take this pawn here? But it seems like that would have been a blunder, as you can see from the evaluation, because these pawns are just, they're going to be taken. And now he gets to dilute off his weak pawn here with this move, which he couldn't play earlier because his rook used to be there, and then if I captured, I would have a nice line of sight there. But now that he's castled, he can play c5, and yeah, the pressure starts to turn on me. So good that I didn't do that. I played this instead, and well, we have a bit of a maneuvering game. So now he's putting pressure here, and I'm putting a bit of pressure there. But now he's holding that solid and ganging up the pressure, so I'm holding it myself, and he's still ganging up further. So I'm deciding to make it double-edged in this manner. Capture, 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 capture. This looks like it's going to be a dead draw, but it's not over yet. At this point, I kind of went into a bit of think, a pretty long think, I would say. So computer recommends king e1, then f4, g4, h3, h5. So very advanced maneuvering from the computer here. This is high-level stuff. I didn't get to this stage, no. Instead, I thought that, this rook is a bit of a problem. These pawns here are a bit of a problem. Because I want to get my king to the center somehow. That was my thinking. And so in that perspective, I actually decided to give him a check first, with the reason being that what we're going to find out right now. I wanted to get his knight to come here so that I can get my rook back there. But he wasn't quite budging, so I had to kick him and then do it. And at this point, the game becomes what is very likely to be a clear draw. But anyway, we still played on. We still played on. Kind of an interesting endgame here. I wonder how many of you would be able to manage this. Very interesting position. I tried to get an outside passer, but really it's not realistic here. And at this point, I played h4 and I offered a draw. It was over. There's really not much left. Takes, goes up, king goes up, knight takes, king takes, and then eventually the knight tries to capture back the other pawn. So there's really not much to play for. But anyway, it was a good game. Hope you enjoyed, and see you later.